Hey teachers and parents, and welcome to Math Unlocked, where I get to offer you tons of math strategies for teaching math for grades 3, 4, and 5. My name is Miss McCarthy. I'm the creator of McCarthy Math Academy, and I'm on a mission to make math fun, make it click, and make it stick for you so that you can support the students that you work with. Today we're going to be talking about how to use a song that I have called the Multiplication Mashup to speed up your fluency. So this is targeted to 3rd grade, but if you're a 4th grade, 5th grade, 6th grade, 7th grade teacher, and beyond, I want you to know that these same strategies you can be using to help your students, because as a teacher, and I know you can talk to a lot of teachers, you can say, what is one of the things that your students struggle with the most in math? Number one, it's their mindset, right? That they believe that they cannot do it. And number two, one of the biggest issues is multiplication, that they are not fluent with their multiplication facts. And when students move on to 4th grade and beyond, and they're not fluent with their multiplication facts, it can really hold them back. So I created a song like years ago called the Multiplication Mashup to help you. And what I'm going to do is just kind of break down how I would roll this out. All right, so without further ado, let's not waste any more time. Let's get to it and let me teach ya. Before we even get started with the song, the Multiplication Mashup, I wanted to break down this chart. I actually created this for a presentation with teachers in a county in Florida a while ago. So I'm saying week 1, let's focus on 2 of the most simple, easiest factors to memorize, right? Factors 0 and 1. If you notice that over here in the red on the chart, those all on the multiplication chart there, all of the zeros and the ones are in red. If you were to count up all of those red boxes, that would be 48 products, 48 facts that you're mastering out of 169. How did I get that? 169 would be 13 times 13, which is 169. Cool? The really cool thing is, well, if you just focus on mastering your zeros and your ones, which anything times 0 is 0, and anything times 1 is itself, your students will have mastered 28.4% of the facts that they need to be fluent with. That's pretty cool. That's over a quarter of the way there. Then week 2, moving on to the next most simple facts. Let's focus on the 5s and the 10s. They've been counting by 5s. They've been counting by 10s for a really long time, right? The 5s and the 10s can all be shown in the chart with the color orange. When you have counted all of those up, the zeros, the ones, the 5s, and the 10s, you will have 88 boxes, 88 facts that you have mastered out of 169, and you are already over halfway there. Your students are already 52.1%. And this is something that you could show your students, right? Then week 3, focusing on the next most simple ones, the 2s and the 4s. Now, that would be in yellow, okay? Cool thing with the 2s and the 4s is that you can use the double strategy for the 2s and the double strategy for the 4s. That's 120 facts out of 169, 71% of the way there. So do you see how powerful it is that just by mastering the zeros, the ones, the 5s, the 10s, the 2s, and the 4s, your students will be 71% there. That's awesome, okay? Next simple one, you could say, let's learn the 11s next, which is represented by the green boxes. Now we have 133 facts that we've mastered out of 169. We're up to 78.7%. And you keep on going. And the cool thing is, once you get to 12s, your students, that's the white box right down there, your students will have already wanted to say like, hey, you know what 12 times 12 is? Like they want to sound really cool. So they want to master 12 times 12 first, which is 144. They get super excited that they know the hardest one. So by the time they get to week 9, they've already mastered their 12s because they've already seen the 12s being represented in all of the other weeks that you've been practicing. Okay? So that's my 10-week strategy of how to break that down. So this is the what, right? This is what you are prioritizing. You've got a plan, you've got a mission, but how do you actually get them to practice? There's a lot of different ways. And one of the ways that I want to show you is using the multiplication mashup on YouTube. So the multiplication mashup, you can just search multiplication mashup or multiplication song, and you'll see one just like this right here, the first one, McCarthy Math Academy. Just click on that, and it's just a song that can play. You can check this out on your own, but it goes through all of them, all the way from your twos, the twos, to the threes, all right, all the way up to your 12s. So now that you know how to kind of roll out and focus your attention on specific factors at a time to build that mastery, and you know where to locate the multiplication mashup, actually the link is going to be below, the ad-free version, so you don't have to worry about the ads. But let's talk about how to use the multiplication mashup, okay? So I'm gonna actually skip forward to the zeros, the ones, the fives, the tens, the twos. Those are, the kids have been working on those for a long time. So let's talk about some of the more complicated ones, like the fours or the sixes or the sevens, the eights and the nines. Let's talk about those. Let's say that we had 4 times 8. Okay, if I know the 4 song, I can skip count by 4s until I have 8 fingers up. Ready? Here we go. So it'd be 4, 8, 12, 16, 20, 24, 28, 32. So equals 32. Try it again. Let's say that we have 9. Let's say we have 12 times 4. And I'm like, ooh, look, a 4. I know the 4 song. Here we go. 4, 8, 12, 16, 20, 24, 28, 32, 36, 40, 44, 48. Students can start by singing them, and then when they're on a test or something, if they're, instead of drawing 12 groups or 4 groups and 12 in each and having to count it all up, they can skip count a little bit faster. And the more that they practice, the faster they're going to be able to be to arrive at the correct product. Okay, how about the sixes? Let's say 6 times 7. Okay, well, the 6th song goes like this. Hey, sixes, I just met ya. You're kind of crazy. 6, 12, and 18, 24, and 30, 36, and 42. So I have 7 fingers up, counting by 6s, and I got to 42. Or how about if you had something like 8 times 6, and you're like, hey, look, a 6. I know the 6 song. Hey, sixes, I just met ya. You're kind of crazy. 6, 12, and 18, 24, and 30, 36, and 40. 2 and 48, 48. So just like that. Then you get to the 7s. Let's say you have 3 times 7 and you're like, hey, I know the 7 song. It goes like 7, 14, 21, counting 3 of them, and I get to 21. Or let's make it 11 times 7. And you're like, ooh, a 7. And you might be thinking, ooh, 11s are pretty simple. They might just be able to pop it out, 77. But if not, it's okay. We can say it goes like 7, 14, 21, 28, 35, 42, 49, 56, 63, and 70, 77. There we go. How about the 8s? 8 times 9. That's always a fun one. Let's do, we did 6 times 8 already. Actually, let's do 6 times 8 to show you that we're getting to the same ones. We'll do those two. Okay, 8 times 9, I know the 8 song. Party rockin' with the 8s for sure. 8, 16, 24, 32, 40, 48, 56, 64, ow, 72. Or if you have 6 times 8, you can go, oh, look, an 8, and I know the 8 song. Party rockin' with the 8s for sure. 8, 16, 24, 32, 40, 48. So you can see we got the 6th song, we got the 8th song, both arrived us to a product of 48 when we had factors of 6 and 8. Okay, how about 9s? Let's say 9 times 3 and 9 times 9. We got those 9s, 9, 18, 27, 27. Or 9 times 9, got those 9s, 9, 18, 27, I'm just beginning, 36, 45, 54, or 63. Now watch that 72, that 81. So counting 9 times will get you to 81. Sorry, I was having a little bit of camera trouble there. All right, so that is how you can use the multiplication mashup to help. So we know the what, we have our strategy of what to do, right? That was the little chart that I showed you how to break down. How are you going to teach them? How are you going to help build their fluency? One way is using the multiplication mashup. And now it's like, where do I fit this into my day, right? How do I listen to the whole song? Do I focus on one factor at a time? The truth is, it's a completely flexible song. When I was in the classroom, I would use this all over the place. The kids just eat this up. They love it. So it could be a brain break, right? Maybe they focused really, really well in a lesson, and now you're doing a brain break. And it's a 7-minute song, so it does take a little bit to get through, but it could be a nice size brain break. Or maybe you're just focusing on one factor at a time, so you just play the 1 or 2 factors at a time there. I've even used this for whatever factor we're focusing on this week. Like if we're practicing our 8s this week, instead of counting like, all right, I'm going to count down and I want you all back in your seats, or I want you to all line up by the time I get to 10, instead of counting like that, I would count by whatever our factor was. For instance, okay, I would like for you all to line up by the time that I get to 96. I'm going to count by 8s. Here we go. Party rockin' with the 8s for sure. 8, 16, 24. And then they have until I get to 96 using the song to line up. It just really it helps them to stay focused, helps to build that fluency, spread out throughout the day. Now, if you're thinking, okay, this is great, but are they going to be singing forever? Like, will I have an 8th grader who will never master their facts and are going to be singing forever? No, eventually they're going to get it. But if they need a strategy, if they're seeing, 12 times 4 and they don't know what it is right away, they have a strategy to get there. They have a bunch of strategies. They could draw out 12 groups of 4 and then count them up, which takes time. It's what we did in 3rd grade to teach them, but it does take time. And this helps to increase their fluency, to not get lost in a problem that requires multiple steps when they're just trying to figure out a multiplication step in a bigger picture problem. It helps them to speed it up in order to stay focused on the task at hand. So I hope you found this to be helpful. If you're looking for more support with this skill or lots of other 3rd, 4th, 5th grade skills, I really encourage you to stay tuned because I'm about to break down some next steps that you can take if you know that you're like, hey, Miss McCarthy, teach my kid. I've got lots of videos to help you help your students. So stay tuned because I'm about to break it down for you. I hope you found this episode to be helpful. If you did, please let me know by hitting the like button. And if you want to see more, consider subscribing to the channel. It's an easy way to support the content that I bring to you for free on YouTube. If you're a teacher or a parent, especially in Florida, you'll definitely want to check out McCarthyMathAcademy.com. Here is where I offer fast math freebies, including a playlist of fast math-style problems and video lessons to support your teaching. For those ready to dive deeper, check out Taking on the Best, a monthly membership packed with video lessons, student guides, extra practice, error analysis videos, math tasks, mini assessments, and much more, which are all strategically aligned to Florida's best standards. With 3 levels, bronze, silver, and gold, you can choose the support that best fits your needs to promote student growth and skill mastery. Would you like to take Taking on the Best for a test drive? You can sample 1 standard per grade to find the right plan for you. Do that by simply requesting a free trial. And if you're gearing up for the final fast math assessment of the school year, definitely check out Taking on the Fast, a 15-day countdown series with video lessons and fast-style math problems. Start with a sneak peek of day 1, and when you're ready, you can make a one-time purchase. And if you're thinking about the gold plan for Taking on the Best, good news! Taking on the Fast is included in your membership. While many of my followers are in Florida, I know that there are teachers and parents everywhere looking for support. That's why I created McCarthy Math 155 with 155 video lessons for each grade level, 3rd, 4th, and 5th. You can also sign up for a free trial to McCarthy Math 155 to explore it before signing up for a monthly membership. And finally, if you've enjoyed my math music videos on YouTube, you can also jam out to ad-free versions on my website. You can find all the links below, and please feel free to email me with any questions that you have. I can't wait to see you in the next episode. Until then, get out there and make the world a little bit brighter in your own special way. See you next time.